Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Energy Healing Lifestyle Journal Self-Care Challenge Day 46. Again, wrapping up this season. So I'm calling it Season 3 in this journal where we are going through the 7 energies. So we have the chakra energies and then dropped in connections through the acronym of self-care, or I should say using self-care as an acronym, and then also incorporating the energies of best you. So when I say 7 energies, there's many energies involved in that, but they're all connected really with this 7 main chakra energies in our body, in around our body, if you will. So again, if you look at today of being self-care, the letter F, the letter F stands for forgiveness, because forgiveness is massive, right? And forgiveness, when you consider and think about it, if you really just step back and think about it, when we don't have forgiveness, we have resentments, we have massive pain, right? That trauma that just sits in our heart and blocks our ability to allow that energy of love to flow in and flow out. That's massive, like really massive, right? So, allowing that forgiveness to occur for self and others, we all have our own human choices to be accountable for. And so do others. We don't get to control others, though, right? We can only control how we react or respond, process, or block, hold on to. Like the choice is ours, what we do with the energy once it's here, right? Once it's here, it's now up to me to decide what to do with it. I know for me, um, gosh, years ago, I didn't have that understanding, right? I didn't understand what free will and accountability really meant. And I just assumed that if someone treated me a certain type of way, that for them to be accountable for that meant that there need to be some type of declaration from them. And then even if there is one, let's be honest, it's not really enough, right? When you're in that mindset, when you're in that space, when you're still in the gunk of the thing that occurred, that block that's, yeah, blocking that energy of love to flow. Their declaration doesn't sometimes it helps a little bit. Sometimes it's like, yeah, that really just didn't do anything, right? Because the fact of the matter is we can't change the past. What's done is done, like literally, period. Cannot change the past. So then what though, right? So for me, I don't know, I guess in some ways, tell me if you resonate with this, I thought that I'll show you, right? Like I will hold this grudge for a lifetime because they cared. I mean, right? Like if I'm being honest with myself, they don't care anyway. So, how does that affect them? How am I showing them that idea of showing them anything, right? It's just my own hurt humanness, my own hurt ego, my own hurt self image that's trying to find a way to, in a sense, find justice in a situation, maybe, or justify my own, I don't want to say inability, but in a sense, it is in that moment when I'm stuck in it to get beyond it and through it. In a sense, it made me feel like I had a sense of power and control in a situation, and I really didn't. It was misguided in a way. I didn't actually see where I had my power and control, right? We do have some. Again, it's just misguided or misunderstood where it actually occurs because it's here, 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 right? Within ourselves, within this body, within our own energy, within our own choices. Not from the outside. And I guess that was the part I was getting at. Like my choices on the inside, yes, affect the outside, but I don't get to dictate the outside without changing what I'm doing on the inside. And I get it. Sometimes it doesn't seem fair to say, why should it be on me? But it's on me because it's within me now, if that makes sense. So within my energy body, if you happen to watch or are participating in the 7-day chakra healing challenge, in that I describe the layers in the chakras, right? The layers in our energy field. So when we have an experience like a traumatic one, and we don't process that very well because it's traumatic, right? That's why they technically label it as a trauma, because it's so intense that it's very challenging for anyone to try to process it. If we could easily process it, it wouldn't be considered traumatic, right? So let's just give it what it is, like name it what it is. Then it gets stuck in my energy field somewhere in those layers, and it might shift and move. And as I start to clear and heal certain layers, it might shift and move, which is great because we want to continue to clear and heal those things. Like I used to say, spiritual archaeologist, right? You're sweeping away and clearing away those layers of that thing, that gunk in there, that block, the thing that blocks us or blocks our energy from flowing as it should. So then when we can open up and allow forgiveness to occur, that's truly transformative. Talk about a life changer. Because when you can release and remove that block or allow space for forgiveness to occur, even if you're not the forgiver yourself, right? Allow the space. So if you're familiar with Matt Kahn, he talks about not having to be the forgiver, but just being open to letting it happen, to letting that energy flow, right? So whatever your beliefs are, God, source, pure spirit, unconditional love, being open to allowing that energy to come through and clearing and cleaning basically that wound, that trauma, the wound that trauma left behind, clearing that out so you can actually heal from it, right? It doesn't take away from the experience or the intensity of it. It just means that we don't have to continuously repeat the cycle over and over ourselves years after it actually occurred, right? I know it sounds easy and it's not. However, it's also not impossible. So one step at a time is what we do, right? So the heart space, the heart chakra, yes, is a space for love. It's also that space where the energy from the lower chakras come up and meets the energy of the higher vibrational chakras, right? And then they blend and they mix and they do whatever it is they're going to do, but energy flows, right? So again, I see in my acronym of Best You, the T, which is for today, is transformation. So again, that transformation occurs in the heart space. It's where we decide whether it's conscious or not. Oftentimes it's not even conscious, it's in our subconscious, or it's just the energy doing its thing. But when that energy comes up from, excuse me, the humanness, and it's met with unconditional love, it kind of has that check-in point to say, okay, yeah, I think we're good now. I think we've cleared this out and we can pivot up, right? And the energy can flow as it should and continue throughout. We transform it, transmute it. Or if not quite there yet, which is okay, no blame, shame, and guilt, then it might be not quite yet, getting there though, right? Got a little bit more to clear. So it dips back down to repeat another cycle to become more aware. So it comes up into our awareness, aware, assess, and align, right? Comes up into our awareness so we can determine if we're in alignment with that energy or situation yet. Bear with me, I know there's details, but we can always go deeper. This is just scratching the surface, right? These are just some tips to help you dive in a little deeper in your journaling process. So whatever comes up for you, allow it, feel it to heal it, but don't get stuck in it. That's just the biggest point, right? So I think sometimes when we ask ourselves, that's just a big one all on its own. When we ask ourselves, what does forgiveness mean to us? Lots of different things could come to mind, right? Or we might decide that there's different levels or layers within it itself. Maybe some things we find like it's fine. Yes, absolutely. Forgive and move on and so on and so forth. And then there's other situations where you have those exceptions. I know I do, right? There are some things where I'm like, ooh, that one's pretty, mm, mm. A lot of things but that, right? There's my buts, there's my exceptions, but those are things that need cleared. Those too. Because again, if I don't allow forgiveness to occur, even if I'm not the forgiver, if I don't allow forgiveness to occur, what justice does it do anyone for me to say, no, not that one? How does that stop that thing from happening again? It doesn't. Technically, it doesn't, right? But if you truly believe in energy and how energy works and how it moves and how it flows and how it expands and how we are connected in a collective, then we can start to see how, if I can allow the forgiveness to occur and not make that exception to say, no, not that, how the changes, how that ripple effect can create positive change over time, right? The battle there might be the humanness that says, I don't see it yet, because we want to see the difference and we want to see it right away, right? Instant gratification. Anyone else? Right now. So if we don't see it right now, then we just assume that it's not making a difference. But that's not true, is it? Because energies are subtle. We call them subtle energies. The rest of our energy body is considered subtle energies for that reason. They're not so direct. Just a couple other things. I was Googling forgiveness online just to have some more ideas to share today. And one from, let's see, this says Romans hyphen numbers 1, 2, then the word 2 spelled out, TWO.org. It's called The Transformative Power of Forgiveness. I didn't read the whole thing, but the top blurb part says, by embracing forgiveness, we give ourselves permission to let go of the negative emotions that have been holding us captive, such as anger, resentment, and bitterness. This release creates space for healing to occur. And again, healing is transformative, right? So that transformation, enabling us to process our emotions and begin the journey of inner transformation. Like that is a quote that they put. To process our emotions and begin the journey of inner transformation. That's powerful. And it's so accurate. But I love how nothing there says anything about someone else. Excuse me, right? There's nothing in that statement that says anything about someone else getting off the hook. What they've done was okay. Um, allowing the behaviors to continue. None of that was in there. None of it. The whole thing, just to reiterate on the forgiveness, because I know for myself and others, that can be a very challenging one. So I want to read that one part. It gives ourselves permission to let go of the negative emotions that have been holding us back, not anybody else, right? No one else was affected by our resentment, our anger, our bitterness, our refusal to forgive. No one else was affected by that. Us. We were, right? So it allows us to be free from those feelings, from those emotions. Then another one was another little blurb I wanted to share. This one is from hopkinsmedicine.org. I found this interesting, so I'm bringing this in for another connection with the energy and the chakras in the human body. How does forgiveness change a person? The good news, studies have found that the act of forgiveness can reap huge rewards for your health, lowering the risk of heart attack, improving cholesterol levels and sleep, and reducing pain, blood pressure, and levels of anxiety, depression, and stress. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Lowering risk of heart attack, improving cholesterol levels, reducing pain. Now, I think it's, for me, probably maybe because I have the background in mental health and addiction treatment, to me, it seems pretty like, yeah, I could see where it could reduce depression and anxiety and stress, right? I see a direct connection between forgiveness or not being able to forgive with depression, anxiety, and stress. But the rest, and the reason I wanted to bring that in and point that out is because, again, those experiences and how we process it or not, right? How it flows through our energy, in our energy, in and out and around and all the things in the energy field and our energy bodies. And the chakra, the heart chakra, literally governs the space, right? So your heart, which includes the blood pressure, how the blood flows through the body, like all things circulatory system, excuse me, including our lungs as well, like our lungs, our breath, everything in the chest area, right? Excuse me. So again, that's just one of those examples, and this is from Hopkins Medicine to show the physical improvements or benefits. So therefore, there would be a higher physical risk by not allowing forgiveness to occur, right? That means the same thing. So when we don't allow forgiveness to occur, when we continue to hold on to the anger and the resentment and the bitterness because of, that whatever betrayal of what that trauma that we experienced, then increases our risk of heart attack. It increases our cholesterol levels. It increases our blood pressure, right? So really think about the power in that. So that life transformation, literally on all levels, right? Mind, body, and spirit. So just wanted to share that with you and the source it came from, because I thought that was, again, super powerful and something to think about, right? Just to really see how we, starting here, healing starts within, benefit from releasing that resentment and anger and bitterness. And the way to release it is through forgiveness, or at least allowing forgiveness to occur, right? So again, I hope to see you at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we are going deeper into the heart chakra healing for today in the 7-day chakra healing challenge. Today is day 4 in that challenge. No worries if you miss the live rounds, though. It stays at the energyhealingschool.com. Let me say it again so you can put it in your browser. theenergyhealingschool.com. The 7-day chakra healing challenge. It's up all the time there as a self-study. And also on my YouTube channel, there's a playlist for the 7-day chakra healing challenge. So if you're not able to make the live rounds right now, no worries. You can go check that out at any time throughout the year. And then next year, I'll be doing another live round. So you can catch that live round too. So I hope I've given you some things to think about. I hope you're taking care of you. And I will see you again, hopefully at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. If not today, tomorrow when we talk about the throat chakra healing. Take good care of you. So much love.